Well, hello and welcome. My name is Velma. You can connect with me at velmanolds.com. This is all about your leadership chat. What does that mean? You get to listen in on valuable insights from valuable leaders just like you. I want to encourage you to go ahead and subscribe so that you never miss another episode. And if this is of value to you, please share the nuggets that you're going to take away from all these great leaders. Please give a big welcome to my special guest and your valuable leader, Jessica Oreste. Jessica,
Perfect. You nailed it.
welcome
Thank
to your
you.
leadership chat.
I am excited to be here. I've been looking forward to our conversation for a while.
I know.
You've been doing this with a lot of great leaders, and there's lots of good nuggets that are out there. So thank you for even considering to speak with me. And I'm looking forward to our conversation.
So am I. And for those that are listening in, Jessica and I had to reschedule a couple times for other things. But I am so glad that today's the day we're doing the recording. And for those that when they get to listen in on this, I know before we even start, I know you're just going to have a blast because you got two dynamite people here. I mean, like,
that's right.
We had a crazy conversation before. All right. Well, let's kick things off. Jessica, tell our listeners a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Okay, perfect. So I am Jessica Oreste. I have been in HR for over 25 years, so a very long time. What you need to know is that I actually thought I would be a television broadcaster, and I lucked into my job. I happened to fall into HR, and honestly, I love it. I think that it is a perfect match for my personality and how I want to contribute to the world. So I have been very lucky with a great career at several good organizations. And Velma, probably for the past 15 years, I've been in key leadership roles like head of HR or chief human resources officer roles. Really myself, I really like to be able to partner and work with a team in the organization and also be able to kind of use the critical HR skills that are so prevalent, especially today in the business. It makes such an impact. So I get a lot of joy and passion from being able to get work done between myself and my team. So professionally, I've been very successful, very fortunate. So very excited to be able to throw those nuggets in. I also am a mommy, and I have two beautiful daughters. One is 23 and the other one is 18. And they definitely are the loves of my life. I also, too, a little nugget about Jessica, I am a very much an early riser. So I wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, and that's why I need my energy drink.
You beat me to it. I'm a 5 a.m.
Okay, yes, I am a 4 o'clock in the morning. I think today was almost 3:30 because the dogs had a different idea of when they wanted to get up. But I also go to bed pretty early. So very active, like to do most things outdoors. So you'll see me more on like kayaking, on the causeway, working out. I like to expend energy because I have a lot of it. So that is just a little bit about me.
Oh my goodness. Well, we share so much in common because the energy, of course, is in the house. But more than that, I love being out in nature too. And I know we're like a bridge apart because we're both in the Florida area and on the west coast of Florida too. So
we'll have to meet up, ride bikes someplace and meet up. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, my first question, I always want to dig into who is a valuable leader in your life, that person, Jessica, or maybe more than one, because most people say, can I name more than one? But it's your opportunity really to pay credit to someone or more than one that has made a tremendous impact in your life. And you say, I wouldn't be Jessica, the woman I am today, without this leader or that leader. Who's your valuable leader?
You know what? I really love this question. I think that's why I was so excited to be able to come and talk to you, because I actually have thought about these two individuals quite a bit in my life, to the point where I actually wanted to reach back out and say thank you, right? Because the names come to my mind so quickly. So one of them is Dina Downs, and then the other one is Jed Norden. And they both were in very, very important part of my career path, but at different times. And I'll explain to you why. And what's great is that they both did similar things during those times that made them so impactful. And the first one about Dina was this. When I told you I kind of happened to fall into HR. So long story short, finishing my degree at Sacramento State, born and raised California. And I went to Audia, which is now Adecco at the time, for them to help find me a job. Well, they sent me out on a couple things, but then they called me in to do data entry and I never left, right? I never left. And I ended up working there while I was going to school. And I had tremendous female mentors. And why Dina is so special is that when I transferred and was an on-site kind of like representative at Intel Corporation, which was in Folsom, what made her so valuable, Velma, is that she took the time to teach me and show me and be patient with me. And her kind of coming up next to me and being this tremendous female leader that truly just wanted the best for me and was so genuine and caring and took the time to actually show me how to do things right was so valuable to me, especially being in college still, very like new to like, you know, your career. So I think it's that time, and she really like took an interest in me and wanted me to excel. And that gave me such a good foundation and confidence to be able to start my process with my career that it was like, it's precious to me. And I think of her often, and it really was the time that she took to show, you know, how it would like, it was an investment in me, and I really felt it, right? So that was phenomenal. And not only her, but there was all the females at Adecco were very much like that. They just kind of took me underneath their wing. They bought me suits. It's like they were polishing me up, and they really wanted me to win and be successful. And I think to have that so early on, and also to have females do that for you, really kind of put a good foundation in me and how I wanted to be for other females who I interacted with along my career, which is interesting. I'll come to that later about how I've helped others, because it's definitely paid off. So Dina Down, if she's out there, if she ever gets to hear this, then I'll probably send it to her, made a huge impact on my life early in my career.
Yeah. So she's that foundational teacher. You tell me about people that really, and it's a genuine interest is what I love how you said that. It was like she and others that surrounded you really wanted Jessica to win. They wanted you to be the best version of you.
Correct. And how can you not, when people are like rooting for you and helping you, it makes it so much easier for you to stretch yourself and try new things. So to the point of that, I mean, I remember like they just also too allowed me to do so many things. I was like a sponge. Would send me to branches and let me be like the branch in charge when other people went on vacation. They just put so much confidence in me. It really was such a good platform for me to spring into my career and really lead with confidence. So that was amazing for me. And I think, you know, I think a lot of people today are looking for that now, even.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. And we all, you know, in wherever you are in life, you always will need someone to believe in you. And sometimes you have to borrow that belief until you have it for yourself. And I'm just so thrilled to hear that story. Now, you said there were more than one. Now,
there was one. So the other one who I'm going to get to is Jed Norden. So this was now when I had left California. I was with ServiceMaster. I had been with the company. I was with ServiceMaster for 19 years, had a great career, started in the organization as a generalist, worked my way up through the years to a group vice president, you know, being the head of HR for 2 businesses. But what really, for me, what I remember is Jed Norden. So I was the head of HR for American Home Shield. So I still had a high level position in the company. But he really catapulted me in terms of my knowledge and took Jessica from like here to here. And how he did that too is that he believed in me so much. He believed in me, so he gave me large roles. He was a great mentor. And again, when we would sit down and have our update meetings, it was always teaching me something, helping me leverage ideas like in my organization, somebody I could truly go to bounce ideas off of, right? He participated. And then not only that, Velma, but he invested at that time the money behind it to give me some really state of the art HR courses, right? And allow me to do some cohorts like over like a year time and put me in like foundations of leadership, like things for over a year. And these investments were expensive. But at that point in my career, it's really what kind of gave me the edge, I think, to continue to grow and then be like the head of HR in other organizations, because he invested, yes, his time, but at that pivotal time, he invested the monetary resources in me because he saw something in me and allowed me to kind of flourish and really grow like my knowledge in the space. So, and those two things, I think, when I look at my career, they really kind of set themselves apart from, I mean, I've obviously, you know, worked under several people, but those two specifically were pivotal and kind of shaping Jessica on who she wanted to be and how I wanted to show up for the people that I was in turn going to be managing.
Yeah. And you know, you said something, and I'll paraphrase it, but I love how you know, when we were talking through this, in both your examples of valuable leaders, you know, you drew on the statement around the fact that they gave you a fine reputation to live up to. You know, they believe so much in you. You were like, I'm not going to let them down. It was not even about you. It was like more like, you know, you're doing it for others because they believe so much in you. And what a return on investment. Here you are telling their, you know, their stories. And I know you're not the only one that they've touched in lives in that way.
Agreed on. And they're both just a very genuine care about individuals. I mean, they would go to bat for me still today and give me a recommendation and reference for any position I would want to do. And still, like when I left Service Master and moved to Florida, Jet was absolutely put a thing on LinkedIn right away to recommend me. Was like, please let me be a recommendation and resource, have them call me. I mean, he just was an advocate and going to support you. Everybody needs advocates in their life. Whether it's business, whether it's personal, you need people that are going to build you up when you can't, right? I mean, you need those critical people in your circle. So I've been very fortunate to have quite a few, but thank you for allowing me this opportunity to share my story with those two particular.
Yeah. And the reason I wanted so much to have leaders like yourself come on and share who valuable leaders are in their life, who really is making an impact, is because one, I want us all, and that me included, I put myself in the bucket with both hands, to pause and kind of look back over your personal and professional life and say, you know, there are people that have made a difference, that it's such a positive difference in your life that you want to, one, if you haven't had the chance, pay credit, you know, give them the, you know, because sometimes they don't even know. Sometimes you don't even know the impact you're making on someone's life.
That is so true.
Yeah. And then of course, my next question is going to lead into, you know, now that we know, because I believe that knowledge is knowing what to do, but then wisdom is applying what you know to do. And you've had great examples of valuable leaders. So my next question is around paying it forward. How does Jessica pay it forward today to help other people become valuable leaders in their personal and professional life?
So that's a great question. And I love that. And I think it is interesting. So for whatever reason in my career, and I will add to this, it's a little bit about who Jessica is. I am, I can't be anybody but Jessica, almost to the point where I had Jed. I'm a little goofy, very high energy. Like, right. I believe that you have fun. I inspire people. I have high energy. I want to create positive environment and have my team feel supported. And I think in a company too, like Service Master, which had 14,000, you know, employees and being there for 19 years, I did have lots of young female leaders reach
Mhm.
out to me
Mhm.
and want me to mentor them for some
Mhm.
reason, right? I guess they saw something, they wanted to know how I got there. But you know what I loved, Velma, actually, and this is a message that I actually want to like part and make sure that people hear, is
Sure.
that I had people ask me, how did you climb the ladder and stay who you are?
Yeah. Mm.
And because I am just, like I
Mhm.
said, a little goofy, high energy, I am very hardworking, right?
Yeah.
High achiever, and obviously want to excel, but
Sure.
I'm not going to change who I
Mhm.
am. So,
Yeah.
not that I'm not polished, right? Because you mean you got to know your audience and who you're presenting to, but I
Sure.
think that I tried to stay genuine and authentic to who Jessica is, and
Mhm.
I never let that waver.
Yeah.
And I think people really liked that because they knew that, how do you stay true to yourself and not compromise who you are? So
Yeah.
for me, having those good foundational leaders that supported me and actually were genuine with me, I've been able to stay myself, which has
Yeah.
been great. So I've been able to teach people that as well. And
Mhm.
then also guide them too on their career path on how they need to, if they're trying to get here to
Right.
here, where they need to go and what decisions they need to make, etc. So I have mentored quite a few people. So I like giving back that one-on-one kind of dialogue and interaction.
Mhm.
I never shy away from that, of course. And then also too, I like to be on panels and do
Yeah.
things like this, where you're sharing your experience, the good, the bad, and the ugly,
Yeah.
where again, you're being real. So
Yes.
people can relate to you. I think
Yeah.
being relatable as a leader is the most powerful thing that you can do for people you interact with and also the people that work underneath you.
Mhm.
Right? It's
Wow.
it's so important that they understand that what you're presenting is authentic and real and that you do generally care for people.
Yeah, well, and you brought us full circle because the people that are valuable leaders in your life and on other sessions, the characteristics and qualities that you talked about and others talk about, it all gets back to that person was real. They were
Correct.
real with me on a human level. First, they knew me as the person, not the
Yeah.
project that they needed someone to get done.
Yes.
They
Yes.
saw the person, not that project. And so I love that. And also what you echoed originally was you said everyone needs an advocate for them,
Yeah.
and mentoring people is being that advocate for them. It's
Correct.
standing in the gap until they can go from here to there, guiding them along the way. And so you're actually doing exactly, I don't know if you knew that, but whatever you told us, you're now doing.
Yeah, and you know it's funny you do, and one other thing too, I think that is also a valuable lesson, and I
Yeah.
kind of throw it in here. Just I've had everybody's had tons of leaders, and what I would tell everybody is that you're going to have tons of leaders, right?
Sure.
And you take the stuff that you really like, and if you like it, you do it, you adopt it. And even the stuff that's not great, and you're like, don't do that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That makes
Right.
sense. Everything is a choice.
Yes.
Um, but I think for me, I really like managing a team and people. I think it is, to your point, so important to invest time in them, to get to
Hmm.
know people and
Yeah.
ask about the things that are important to them. Work, I mean, we spend a lot of time together at work. So it is important for me to get to know you. Like, how's your family? You had a good weekend, right? Everybody's hello. You look people in the eyes. You generally care. You got to build that connection and that trust,
Hmm.
because then you are able to provide that constructive feedback and push people. So I think that because my style is like that, and I've also had people do that with me, I push my people. They all know when I ask them, I'm like, I don't think I'm intimidating. They're like, you're not intimidating. You have high expectations that people also know, right? That I'm going to be fair.
Yeah.
And if whatever I'm asking them to do, I would pull my sleeves up and do it with them. And I genuinely care about them as people,
People. Yeah.
right? People first. And to your point, because I had that, you're right. I wanted to do everything to be able
Right.
to prove and get my job done and make them
Yeah.
proud,
Right.
so that the investment they were putting in me, they also saw that it was worth it.
Wow. Wow. That is so beautiful. Well said. Hands down. I love it. And when you talk about it, your passion comes out. So not
Yeah.
energy, passion. I'm
Oh,
talking.
good. I like that. Yeah, I
It's
really
different.
have been very fortunate, Velma, to find a career that I genuinely love. I remember
Yeah.
I took one of those assessments, which we've all taken a million of them,
Right.
and they said that like your vocation is so closely tied to actually your purpose.
Hmm.
So I am very fortunate that I have found something that gives me such great purpose and passion.
Wow. And I learned so much from these valuable, leadership chats I have, and getting to know people a little bit better, and leaders like yourself, but then learning part of your journey and the lessons you've taken away. That's fantastic. Now, I don't know how you're going to top this next question, but I know you got it in you. Okay.
Okay, I'll
Now,
give it a try.
and you never know who's going to listen. We don't know. In fact, these days you can put this out, and 8 months later someone find, and you are the person they need to hear from at that moment in their life. And so my next question is around a big takeaway, and the feedback I get is, I love your big takeaways, because they want to know, well, what could I do? So Jessica, what would be a big takeaway that you would want to share with the listeners on how they can become more valuable in their personal and professional life? I think it's both.
So I think a big thing is to understand your non-negotiables, right?
Mm,
As an individual, personally and professionally, I
yeah,
think that as soon as you can determine what those are,
yeah,
it helps you make decisions and guide your course a little bit more efficiently,
sure.
right? So, for instance, because I had some non-negotiables and very clearly on knew what I wanted and what I didn't want, I
Hmm.
was really able to guide my steps in terms of where I was going, because I was
Sure,
like, that's not going to get me where I want to go. So I'm not going to go there. It's going to be this way.
sure.
Right. And then also, too, I think that if you don't know those, you end up staying in situations potentially that can be harmful to you,
Mm,
especially around like mental illness or
mhm.
causing great anxiety. And that is definitely something that has spiked so dramatically here recently, right, in our culture,
Sure.
not only personally, but I think professionally too, for many
Yeah.
people. So understanding who you are at the core is
Yeah.
so important for you to lead a meaningful life and
Mm,
also kind of live out your purpose. So really take the time to understand your non-negotiables and stick with them, because when you don't, you're going to be off. Your gut's going to feel it. It is going to do damage to you personally. It's going to impact your family. It's going to impact
mm,
your performance.
yeah.
So spend some time there. And I would offer, if people are struggling with that and they're in a situation that they know doesn't feel right, but don't know how to quite get out of it,
Yeah.
I am very accessible on LinkedIn. Reach out to me. I'm glad to share any of like my stories, because I'm going to be 50 in November. So I've had a few of them, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's also too what we're here for, is to share our experiences with others so
Mm.
people know they're not alone.
Yeah, no, wow, beautiful. And there you go, drop the mic, right? I mean,
Boom. It is
it's
it's my energy drink, I think.
it's non-negotiables. What is non-negotiable? What are those values that you build
Correct.
your life on,
Yep.
that you say, this is who I am, and this is who I want you to know and to respect, and I want to be there for you, but I want to be there in this way. It's all about your presence, how you show up,
Correct.
and what you're showing up on, those foundational values, those non-negotiables. I love that.
Non-negotiables.
Love that.
Good.
Oh, I love that. All right. Now, you did hint on that folks can reach out. Thank you for offering, for anyone that's listening, that they
Yep.
know that they have someone that they can reach out to. But I would love for you to share, how can listeners learn more about you, or connect with you, or find out, a little bit more about you and your journey? Where would you suggest we go?
So it's definitely LinkedIn. So
Okay.
I'm not out on a lot of social media platforms.
Okay.
The one place I am the most active is LinkedIn.
Sure.
I do visit it quite often, probably a couple times a day.
Okay.
Obviously, I have a Facebook account and an Instagram, but
Yeah.
I probably haven't posted on those in quite a long time.
Okay.
So the best way to reach out to me and learn a little bit about me is just to come at me directly, send me a message and we can, interact and start a conversation, or at least you can learn a little bit more about like my career and things like that.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll put it here in the show notes. So folks that are listening in and they get here, when someone reaches out from your leadership chat, you know that they've listened to your story and they've got it in order to connect with you. So
That would be great.
Thank you for offering that. You've just been fantastic.
Great. I have enjoyed it.
Yeah, so me too. Thank you again, Jessica, for your time and for all the great, valuable lessons you shared with us today on your leadership chat.
No problem. Keep doing these. They're very important. And to your point, you don't know if you're going to touch one person or multiple, but somebody might be listening at the right time and it's exactly what they need to hear.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I appreciate it. I really
Absolutely.
do. We get encouragement. We put a little bit of comics in there to make people kind of entertain as you watch. But folks say, I just love the realness of it. It's just you and another, human being that's a leader in life and in business, and you're having something safe to drink on social media.
Love it. Yes. Good. It was a good chat. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day.
You too. Bye now.
All right. Take care.
Hey, thanks so much for watching another episode of Your Leadership Chat. I hope that you've enjoyed this video. Make sure that you hit the subscribe button here and tap that bell icon so that you never miss another episode. I hope too that you'll give us a thumbs up on the video for a like. And then if you feel led, please share the video with those who need to see it. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time on Your Leadership Chat. Bye for now.